All right, hello. Welcome to this director's commentary. Today I'm joined by, who are you again? Flare145 is what I go by. That's like my thing that I like to be credited as. Oh, okay. What have we got going on here? Yeah, so this is a film that I worked on. It's pretty short, so I figured we could just be watching it a few times over, and maybe we can isolate the scenes. Yeah, we can do that and just kind of go scene by scene. So tell me more about this. There's no title. Yeah, so I didn't give it a name. We can give it a name. I don't think it's normal to give it a name during like a director commentary. Is that what you? So you directed this? Yeah. I directed, and I did the whole thing. What do you mean you did the whole thing? Like I drew the pictures. Yeah. I came up with the story. So there's a story then. Yeah, there's kind of a storyline. Here, why don't we just take a look at the first scene. So what would you consider the first scene? Yeah, so he's just walking in this first part. So what was the thought process behind that? Yeah, so I wanted to show somebody walking because I think walking is like a thing that we do a lot as a human, as a society. Right. And it's also vital to the story. So it's just kind of a way to open up, we have the nice blank sort of a background just to establish like, hey, this is a Flipnote, and like, what is a Flipnote? Yeah, so this is a Flipnote. It's just a cool thing. You don't seem like you want to elaborate it. Yeah, so I made this on a DS. A DS? You mean a Nintendo dual screen device? Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, thanks. So in this next scene, we open up to a nice wide shot, and we get this beautiful painted background painted by Flare145. Why did you just say that like that? Like what? You referred to yourself? I just want to make sure the proper credit is given. Okay. Yeah, so it's quite awesome. Really cool, really talented guy. Yeah, please stop that. I will not be stopping that, sir. Yeah, so he's just walking along, and eagle-eyed viewers will notice that it's actually the same walk loop, the walk cycle. That's just because, so that we know this is the same continual story here, you know what I mean? So that wasn't some kind of like a cost limiting thing. That was just like a time limit thing. Yeah, so I made this also in like an hour, so what is... I've noticed people don't know what this is at all. Can you explain to me what this is? Yeah, so it's like a fire hydrant. I know it's kind of a bit more weird and abstract looking, but it is a fire hydrant, which typically are filled with a water. Oh, okay. So I see how this comes into play later in the film. Yeah. It's a sort of foreshadowing thing. Yeah. So in this next shot, we have our guy stumble right in front of the screen, right? Yeah, so this is clearly right after he's been walking. You see him kind of come to the end of this loop that he's been stuck in, and he falls down. And then we peer into his mind, his inner thoughts, and we see this sign. What is this sign, by the way? It's a restroom sign. Oh, okay. Why is there just one guy on it? What do you mean? Yeah, so like, you would have like the male and the female on the restroom sign. Oh, I'm not trying to say anything about that. It was just easier to draw. Well, you need to think about the societal implications of your film. You need to consider who's watching and who's going to take... What is the audience going to take away from this? I don't like how it seems like you didn't put thought into this. Are you trying to say something about a gendered bathroom? Or... No, that was not that was not my intent at all. It's just a restroom sign, dude. Okay, but the parts later in the film kind of suggest I don't know what you're talking about, bro. It's a restroom sign. Okay, please just stop. Okay, so I'm sorry. Okay, I accept that apology. Yeah, so what's with the black stuff? Yeah, so you can kind of see there's almost like hands, the forms of hands coming out. Everybody wants to use the restroom. You know what I mean? Yeah. So clearly this guy is thinking about using the restroom, just like everybody else. He is a part of our bigger whole, and he needs to release from his hole. Which hole? Actually, that's not been revealed yet, but we're getting to that. So we zoom in kind of, and we see how things can go terribly wrong, with this red color that I bring out. Yeah, I was wondering about that red color. The previous stuff has been red, and then we go to the blue of the restroom sign. Yeah, so that was intentional. Oh, okay. I was trying to make sure that I'm picking up on what you intended now that you kind of were getting mad at me. No, I wasn't mad at you. I was just confused. Okay. Yeah, so then we cut to our dark, this is the dark moment, the deep part of the film, where we see him thinking about sitting on the toilet. I think it's fair to say he needs to use the toilet. Yeah, but he's thinking about it. And it could be a dream, like in a dreamlike state. You've had dreams of using the restroom, right? Yeah, of course. It's fairly common, and it's a fairly common thing as well to pee in your sleep. Yes, I was kind of hoping you wouldn't say that, so we can get to the part and really talk about it. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead. Yeah, but it's cool. So we can see also how the frame rate of the guy is different from the toilet creeping its way towards his body. Yeah, so that's because it's almost like in his dream state, this feeling of needing to use the restroom creeps toward him, while his body, his corporeal form almost wants to reject it, and it's not in the same flow as those thoughts. Wow, that is very deep. Yeah. Thank you. We can also notice the toilet is that red color again. This is a scary thing. You've had this happen, right? Yes. It's a scary thing, isn't it? Yeah. I like the way you represented it with the red. Yeah, the red, of course. So we get that strike, those action frames right there, that moment where we know something is going wrong. Hard cut back to reality, and we see the bright red sunset sky again, and our character's on the ground, like continuity. Yeah, continuity. And we see just the worst thing happen. These shots are really quick, and so I was really hoping to get to this part so you can really talk about it. Yeah, thank you. So we start with he unleashes. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm good. So he starts to pee himself on the ground. Yes. And so that's the first shot. It's really fast, as you can see. It's just exploding. When we cut to this dark, this form, we see this liquid form forming, and we see those same hands reaching, just like how we reach for that restroom, right? From earlier. It's kind of a callback. Yeah. That's quite cleverly done. Thank you. Blue on the black, which is something that we only saw, I think, on the restroom sign when it zoomed in. And the next shot is really important. We see the glop of water just hit the ground. We get that nice splash because we want to feel. I wanted the audience to feel the sense of that liquid, that water, that pee, as it would come out of the guy. Yeah, because we've all peed before, and so we know how liquid interacts with itself and how it moves. Yeah, so just tapping back into that really brings the viewer into how you're supposed to feel when this guy pees. Right. And then our next shot is kind of our final, in a way. We see his body twitching, and the pee just comes right out. So the pee is blue color. It's like water. Yeah. Because of the limitations under which we were working, or the color space, it's really interesting. So we have that black and the white and the red. And so blue kind of evokes that watery liquid feel. And so I wanted to use that to represent the pee instead of something like the red, which has kind of been light and fear so far in this piece. Right. Yeah, so we zoom out a little bit and we see just how much he needed to use that restroom. And we pan up back onto the red sunset sky. Only now it's an ocean. So does the ocean represent anything? I think it represents our fears, really. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. So just like the fear of quite literally everything, and also not being able to make it to the restroom in time to properly utilize it. So this is... I'm sorry, I'm saying a lot. Do you have any questions you want to... No, you can go ahead. Okay. This was based off a real story. Just the other day, I peed myself in the bed. Oh, yeah. How old are you? I'm old enough to not do that, but the thing is it happened, and I can't undo that, you know what I mean? Yeah. Well, I don't think that's limited to like an age thing. Well, yeah, but it happens more to children, no? Yeah, that is true. So is this for children? No. No, the themes we're tackling here are much greater. Oh, that is true. That is true. So another question I have is: there's no music or audio. What is the thought process behind all of that? Yeah, so the sound was greatly considered. I kind of wanted to do something to emphasize that liquid feel, but I didn't have the time to. So what's at the time that you said you made this in an hour? Yeah. Well, it might have been an hour and a half. Why? Because that's just how I made it. See, you keep trying to bring this greater purpose out of this piece, and then you say stuff like that, which makes me think that this means nothing at all. So I understand what you're saying. You're completely wrong. I think the greatest human expression... I'm so sorry, what was that? I just dropped something. My bad. What was I saying? I think the greatest human expression can come out of some of the shortest time frames, just really focused work. You know, they call it artwork because it is work. You know what I mean? You can make incredible things in short time frames. And I think that's just what I wanted to prove. You know, these days we have all these AI stuff coming out. People saying, yeah, look what we can do as artists with AI. We made this animated thing super fast. Well, I made this animated thing super fast. And you might not like it, but I peed myself in my bed. And now you know. Thank you. That was very insightful. You're welcome. So what's your plans going forward from this film? I think some people are going to be very surprised with where I take things next. Obviously, there's not going to be any sequels or anything like that to this at all, but I'm a creative. I'm always just cooking up something, you know what I mean? And yeah, so thank you for having me. Yeah, thank you for doing this. I'm sure the fans will appreciate it. They like sort of director commentary sort of things. Yeah. And I'm sure they'll like that I did everything, and so this is much more insightful. Yeah. All right. Thank you for watching, my beautiful audience. We'll see you next time when we talk about a film someone made about drinking from a water fountain. Is that what it's really about? It doesn't have any deeper meaning. Oh, I'm sure it does. That's why we're talking about it. Oh, okay. I will see you next time, folks.